Using MS Excel to plan each coordinate, I have created the first fully planned city of mankind, set in prehistory. I will be playing Dawn of Man at the hardest difficulty to build this great city simply known as the Ozymandian Kingdom. Given the ravages of time, even the greatest men and the empires they forge are impermanent, their legacies fated to decay into oblivion. This city, while it lasts, shall, however, be so great that gods invented 1,000 years from its passing shall come with bowed heads to ask our ancestors, who built this edifice? Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the Strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Let's go over the raid that we had when we were entering the Copper Age. So here comes the attackers. What I did is I made a save game over here. I was not happy with some of the construction mistakes that were there on the screen. I also improved the layout because, as I said, I keep on iterating, I keep it making it better. And one of the questions were on the forum is this setup able to take on ancient warriors at highest difficulty? Is it able to take on the raiders? So let's go over the raid. So here you can clearly see that there was one guy who was throwing bows and arrows. Meanwhile, the rest were melee. And this is what happens to the melee guys. Look at them run. They are out of there. And our boys and girls are celebrating. So this is a moment of great celebration because we have entered the Copper Age and we are going to absolutely dominate. Not only in this age, we are going to dominate in all the ages which are about to come. There will be no mercy. We won't have an opportunity of attacking other clans. Unfortunately, that's game design and not my design. And here we go, we enter the Copper Age one more time because, I want to start with a fresh slate, and I also want to show how we are going to take the first steps, because the Copper Age presents a great danger for your society. Because the attackers who are coming in are going to be coming in with copper tools and weapons, while you will definitely be having only flint weapons, which are enough if you follow the setup, because we have made our defenses in such a manner that the defenses can continue to fire and harass the enemy, whereas the enemy won't be able to take down the defenses very easily or at all. As you can clearly see that we lost probably one tower, we didn't lose any people. Often what happens is that the attacks come in while your people are nearby to the raiders, and then you lose quite a lot of people, but that can't be helped. You can't have eyes everywhere. And then you lose a few people, but we are welcoming a lot of immigrants. We are making sure that our birth rates are high. We have constantly a very large amount of females who are pregnant, so those are new tribe members all coming in. Now this is what we do in the farthest reach of the Ozymandian Kingdom. We are going to pull the walls out, as you can see over there. So you can build a lot of fancy redundant walls on this side. The reason for this is that once the raiders break the walls in the corner over here, unfortunately you are not able to build them again because of this steep incline. So what I do is I build a lot of extra walls and towers over here so that I don't get that clinch in my armor, and we can continue. So once the attackers come in, then they are going to get busy with those extraneous walls, leaving this vital piece of wall which once broken cannot be rebuilt. So as soon as we build walls, it's going to be 5 platforms, and in this corner there will be 4 platforms because we have got a rock. But no worries, it's always 5 platforms and then 2 towers. As you can see, there goes our towers. And of course, as I said, we are going to put in extraneous number of towers over here so that we can constantly harass and protect this flank. This flank is often a bit difficult to defend, not because of the defenses, but because of its position. As you can clearly see that most of our farming is happening in the absolute opposite end. So, whereas we have only fruit trees which will be planted over here. So once you are planting or you are harvesting, then most of your folks are going to be in the absolute opposite end of the colony, which takes quite a long while for them to come and man the defenses. And therefore, you have this issue that they are quite nearby, and you are not able to put enough people at that position to stop some casualties. But it's fine, we will have enough people that it's not going to be the end of the world for us, and we are going to absolutely dominate. We are now putting in our first workshops, which are going to produce bows at this point, simple bows, and also sleds. So we don't have to manually put down sleds anymore, so that's really welcome. I don't like that quite a lot. And what it allows us to do is that allows us to quickly put a very large amount of sleds and increase our mobility very quickly. We are going to start getting rid of all the obsolescent things. So we couldn't get rid of all of the skin outfits after I talked on and on about it in the last episode. But yeah, we were overproducing. So make sure when you are near to 80 or 90 knowledge points, you already go in and put the order for the limit of these skin outfits to 0. So they stop producing the skin outfits, and what you want to switch over is all of these dry skins that you have. You want to mass produce simple bows for 2 reasons. One, you don't want your people to engage in melee, because melee is of course terrible. You do get shot, you do get into trouble, and therefore you want to have enough bows and enough people equipped with bows. So we already have enough slots for them to stand on these platforms, and they are going to not engage in melee and take out all of these raiders as and when they come in. Now we are going to start putting our furnaces, so they are going to be in line with the stables that we have already built. We are going to slow the game down, and we are going to mass produce these furnaces. We can also build, instead of 3 furnaces, we can actually build 2 more of these what do you call them, charcoal makers. So if you are seeing that your production of charcoal is not enough, because that often slips under the radar, you don't notice that you have run out of charcoal. That's a problem with this game, that the things which are shown, the stats and the data is quite obfuscated. So often you get into trouble that oh, you are tight in production, you have run out of tools, not because you have run out of copper, because you are clearly seeing that, hey, I have enough copper, I have enough copper ore. What's going on? You have run out of this charcoal, and then you are unable to produce the amount of copper that you actually need to keep up with production, and then that of course suffers. 3 more people move in, so that is quite nice. We won't have any trouble of immigration. We have 119 people going to a point of 125, which is quite nice. You want to have 100 people in the Copper Age. Bronze Age, once you go into the Bronze Age, that is the point which is the most dangerous phase of the entire game for you. You do not have any purchasing power left, because all your flint, if you have any flint left, is going to be worthless. Your bones and dry skin are going to be worthless, which sell for a value of 2 and 5 respectively. So they go down to value of 1 and 1. So you are completely outgunned in that fashion in terms of economics. You are also definitely outgunned in terms of weapons, because they are going to come in with full bronze weapons, whereas you just have copper weapons, and they are going to come in with armor, and you do not have the ability to get enough armor in, because the way we are doing it is that we are letting the enemy progress, and once the enemy progresses, we go up in age. Because the reason for that is, suppose you go up in age while the enemy has not decided to do so. The very next raid, which could be 5 seconds later from when you age up, will definitely bring the raiders with the weapons of the next stage. So if you are in the Bronze Age and you go up right after you just had one raid from a Bronze Age, you go up to the Iron Age, you will have people coming at you with iron weapons, chainmail, and steel weapons. And that might be GG. Even if you have very good defenses, it might be GG. So what you want to do is let the enemy keep coming at you, and once you see that they have progressed to the next stage, that's when you go up, not before. So that's what we are doing. We saw the enemy had gone up to the Copper Age and we went up to the Copper Age, not vice versa. Now, we are going to put in 2 more workshops. We are going to get rid of all of these initial flint working things. We don't want them anymore. So that's very important that we get with the times. Now, we have enough logs. Okay, we need to talk about this one. What is at the end of the day the most important resource? The most important resource in Dawn of Man is going to be wood. Yep. That's anticlimactic, but that's something that you are going to need constantly, and you're going to need a lot of. Really, you will really understand as we get towards the end how much wood it is we are going to actually need. I have 100 wood, as you can see on the screen. That's going to evaporate. It's going to just disappear. You are not going to be sitting cozy with just 100 wood. What we would have, for example, going forward, we would need thousands and upon thousands of this resource. So we have clear cut to the north, as you can clearly see. We are going to clear cut in the south. We are going to clear cut all around our vicinity, and that still won't be enough, truth be told. So yeah, we are going to require gigantic amounts of wood, because you require wood for all of your metallurgy. You are going to require wood for all of this construction, for all of this defense, and also you will often be running out of sticks, which are going to stop you from making the tools that you so desire. So it's much easier for you to cut down trees rather than have somebody go and collect sticks. So that's what I do over there. I keep on cutting down trees, making an overabundance of sticks and wood, so that I can construct as and when I so choose, and continue to be a powerhouse. Of course, the trader has come in and he never brings the things that you actually need. So I need wood. He is not going to bring me any wood. I'm getting rid of all of the obsolescent items. So all of my this flint stuff is going. All the bones and dry skins are going, because I need to be able to go to copper tools. We are now going to be building up our furnaces really well. As you can clearly see, we did our farming. That was A+ farming. We farmed everything. We have got 422 grain sitting in our storage, which is quite a lot. We are also going to increase our animal husbandry limits because we want more meat, we want more milk because we have a lot of cheese makers, and of course cheese is much better because it lasts 1 year compared to 0.25 years for milk, and therefore you have a much more secure food system. So logistically, we are going to make sure that every bit of food is preserved to the max limit. That's why we have granaries enough to hold them. Since we went to the copper age, a lot of animals are going to go extinct. For example, the woolly mammoth, we did not have an opportunity of hunting woolly mammoth. They didn't come near to our settlement. So goes the woolly rhinos, all of these big elasmotherms, they all go away. We don't have elasmotherms in this playthrough because we are in geographical region where they do not grow. And therefore, the rest of these big animals are all going bust. The lights are going out for them. We are in the copper age and it's going to be absolutely metal. We have a bunch of pigs walking nearby and I decided to capture them because, and also some mouflons. It's better if you have somebody nearby to catch them manually because then, you know, that task just gets done. Meanwhile, if you don't have anybody to do the job, then yeah, you just have to put it to be done as and when they see fit. So we increased our number of animals, so that's why the amount of meat that we're going to have is going to go down slightly. However, it's nothing to worry about. We have plenty of grain, and of course the meat is also going to catch up once we hit those limits. We have 48 pigs and we have put a limit of 50 pigs, so probably next winter when they reproduce, animals generally reproduce when they are in the stables, and they are in the stables in the winter. If we look at our structures, we have 5 copper mines going up. 5 is a good number for the initial start, and that will give us quite a lot of copper ore coming in. They do metallurgy better when there is less workload. So we right now have 146 workload. That's because we just entered this new age. So we have a lot of defense to go up on. And we have a little bit of building in terms of we'll have to build up the mines, we'll have to build up the furnaces, all of which is also restricting and dependent on our wood. For example, the copper mines are, and we don't have enough wood. We had 100 wood the last time I was describing the situation, and we are down to already less than 20. So that's how much wood you are going to need. It's going to be constant, it's going to be incessant. However, we are going to make sure that we actually get enough. I'm not happy with the weavers district, so yeah, workload is a bit high. I made a better weavers district which I will show probably next turn, so stay tuned for that because I'm not happy with the way it is right now. I think I can make it better, and that's what I'm going to do. Defenses are going up. We have we're going to choose some trees for cutting down because we have a clear bridge across the river over here, and we are going to utilize all of these trees which are on the far bank of this river, and that is going to give us quite a lot of wood which we are going to need. Right now we have completely run out of wood. So I put in the order, our workload goes up, it shoots up to 160, but that's fine, that's not the end of the world. All that happens is that it lowers the birth rate a little bit because people are super busy doing stuff rather than the stuff that they need to be doing in the private sector, but we are going to live with it because we are attracting enough, we are attracting way enough of migrants. So our copper mines are up. As you can clearly see, they have 65 copper, so they have 15 surface copper and 50 copper which you can access once you build the mines. So if you are pressed for wood, what you can do is you can just put in the gather resources, they gather ore from the surfaces, and 5 times 15 is 75 ore, which they will go and collect for you without the requirement of logs. So for example, right now we are out of logs, and that is not good, of course. And then what you can do as a workaround is put in that work area whereby they are going to go and collect the surface ore. So those are little tricks that you can do depending on the situation that you have at hand, and you are going to be able to make sure that workloads are low and they are doing the jobs that they need to be doing. So here I am going in and taking out redundant jobs that I don't want. So for example, there was a bunch of mouflons that I wanted captured. Yeah, I don't need that. So off they go. There is a bit of repair that needs to be done, and that is dependent on straw. We do have enough straw. We have 32 straw, but that goes very fast because we have quite a host of animals right now, close to 50 goats and 50 pigs, which require quite a lot of straw. However, it's fine. We will manage. We won't have any issues given this, and the workload is also going down. Whenever you build warehouses, make sure you turn off food storage in them, because the stuff which is inside the warehouses, they last only 2 times longer, whereas food which is there in the granaries last 2.5 times. And when you go and build straddle granaries, which are very late game items, then you would get 2 and 3 times more storage of food. So then you would see that we would be collecting gigantic amounts of fruits, which are then going to go last close to 1.5 years, increasing our food security tremendously. So let's buy up all of this things. We are going to buy up this technology for planting fruit trees. I want to store up technology for the coming age, because as I said, the copper age ending and the bronze age beginning is a very, very dangerous time, and we are therefore going to ensure that we have enough knowledge points so that we can rush and build up powerful defenses in the Iron Age, and we can build up compound bows and composite bows in the Bronze Age to better defend ourselves. I adjust the limits slightly so that our work happens with good speed. As you can clearly see that we have run out of wood, and therefore we are running out of charcoal, and therefore the copper ore which is sitting there is going to be held up, but it's not going to be very long because I can already see people are getting ready to chop down trees. Chopping down trees will ensure that we have a ready supply of charcoal, and 3 logs are going to give rise to 6 charcoal. Therefore building up charcoal is very fast, and therefore building up copper is also going to be quite rapid. Therefore I do not put down orders for copper metalsmiths, because the initial metalsmiths, so not the improved ones, because I don't need it. We have enough of the flint weapons and flint tools to do our job. Our defenses are 100% foolproof. Nobody is going through any of this, and therefore we are very nicely set. And even if we have a little bit of resource crunch, that's nothing to be worried about, and we are just going to go about farming. Planting is going on in full swing. As you can clearly see, this beautiful vision of complete productivity that's going on. We have the lower part of the first man already built. We are not going to build more because we are going into a little bit of a transit situation whereby our animals are growing in numbers. We have increased the limit of animals, and therefore they are going to take some time to catch up. We don't have that much meat which requires to be dried. Like previously we would have hundreds of meat to be dried. We don't have the need for that, and this is already going to suffice. Somebody on the Reddit posted what a service tree was, so yeah, that was really brilliant. I got to know what it was. We are going to collect all of these straggler trees. We have 45 sleds, so any work which needs to be done is going to be done at a rapid pace, and it's going to be very industrial kind of work that we are going to do. So I'm not going to press the cutting down of a button for all of these trees because we have got the planting season going on in full swing, and if I put this order, then part of the people who are going to go and plant are going to then go and cut down trees. So I don't want that. I already have orders for trees to be cut down. I don't want to increase the burden. We're close to 187 workload percent, and we are going to be able to reduce that quite a little bit, because as soon as the planting is done, there is literally nothing to be done in the summers, there is nothing to be done in the winters, because we are not going to go for pulses, and we are then going to be able to cut down the trees, and trees when cut down are going to make our lives much easier. Everything depends on trees in Dawn of Man. You really can't have enough of them. It's the most important resource. After, of course, food. I mean, yeah, we are not going to be able to do anything without tools and things, right? So we understand that. Let's agree on that. And after that, we have logs. So here you can clearly see my boys are going out, and it's this beautiful bucolic vision of animals which are beautiful sounds of the countryside, and people are going in, and they are super smart that they have a bunch of sleds, but they insist on carrying back these heavy logs, therefore reducing their morale, and which of course reduces my efficiency, because they are super smart. AI is super smart. It can have 100 sleds, which makes their work easy, but they will just choose to do something really intelligent like this. Full industrial operation going on. These trees are getting chopped down so quickly. You can clearly see we now have again 30 wood, which is going to go into the little bit of building that we put up, those extra stables for these extra animals. We have more or less enough clothes. We are going to build up our clothes quite fast, because we have the weavers district. We have now put in orders for all of those trees to be cut, because our workload has gone down. Traders come in. Let's see what he or she brings. Right. So yeah, let's get all the food, all the logs. I've been going on and on about logs. Enough about that. We are also going to buy up technology, because we have the ability and we have the means. We are going to throw in quite a lot of our bows, because we're going to build them back up. And I'm going to, of course, not give bows preferentially. I'm going to give them all of these dry skins and instead of bows, and therefore that allows us to keep these bows, which are also high value in the Bronze Age. So they still cost 15 in the Bronze Age. They go to value of 1 in the Iron Age and the Steel Age. So these are still very important items to trade away. So our workshops are being built, our stables are being built, and our cheesemakers are being built. So you can clearly see, as soon as you have these items, they are going in and doing the job. That says that even though we have a high workload, we are very efficient, because our how compact our city is and how close things are. So right there you can see we have got the storage facility for the wood and the hay, and then they are going to pick up the wood and the hay and the clay, which is kept in very nearby warehouses, and they are going to build these buildings up very quickly. The metallurgy department is right opposite to the furnaces. So then as soon as those ores are placed over there, then they are picked up and then they are smelted. So we can go and have a close-in view of that, because that's also very beautiful. This game is very beautiful to look at. And we have this vicinity being built up. So you can clearly see my rationale, that we have 2 stables with 1 haystack next to them and a well next to them. So the animals require hay and they require water, and all of that is right next to them. That's how this is built up. It's not built up because I have space and I have MS Excel. Let me just put in things randomly. I put in a lot of thought behind all of these items. wherever you are not building, the Gaia tries to take over, and therefore you would have trees come up. And what you can then do is put up some plants for harvesting, and that will remove those Gaia trees. Here goes our smelting, so you can clearly see how efficient that is. We have got all of these smelters going because we have got the charcoal coming in, and as soon as the charcoal came in, they already had all of this furnaces loaded up with copper ore, and then they are just going. Copper age is going to be absolutely metal. We are going to dominate. We are now going to put in our metal smiths. So the way I do it, I put in one cheesemaker, and then I put in 4 of these metal smiths on either side, and one of them we are going to remove because 3 metal smiths on either side is more than enough. That's 6 in total. So here we already have the cheesemaker, and let's go and put in the metal smiths. So this will be it for this episode. Next episode we are going to start pumping out all of these copper tools and copper weapons, and I hope you will come back for more Dawn of Man, and I hope you are enjoying the series thus far. This has been the Strategic Indian signing out.